Yo, what's up guys? This game got recommended to me by Mamak, my loyal stream mod. He's sending some of the best highlight games to me on Discord, and he said this one was pretty damn good. Of course, how else could it be? Because we have Sasha27, aka Happy, aka the best Warcraft 3 player in the world. Let's just let that sink in for a bit. Let's let that sink in for a bit. Best Warcraft 3 player in the world, Happy, is playing Undead against Night Elf, against Colorful. Colorful, is he the best Chinese Night Elf? Top 2. We recently had that new young upstart Kaho actually able to take a game from Happy. But I saw today he got smashed 2-0 in another match. I believe it was Tet Cup. So even though Kaho had that game that we casted and he was able to take Happy down, Happy destroyed him today. 2-0, no chance. So how will Colorful do? Colorful, let's describe his style. Colorful is a player that plays very meta. He finds a way to play and does it over and over. In a Night Elf mirror, you'll have a player like Foggy or Moon that will try to play Demon first, then Keeper first, then Priestess of the Moon first. They will try 1 base, then they'll do 2 base, and so on and so forth. But not Colorful. Colorful is the most Demon Hunter-ish of Demon Hunter players. Alright? If there was a demon in the real world, I'm sure he would hunt him. That's how meta he is. You would try to tell him, bro, snap out of it. It's not a game. This is a real demon. And he's like, but that's what I do. Like, he's not going to question things. This is what he does every time. And I'll be like, this is your life you're playing with. And then he says, life is a game. I'll be like, shit, he's right. Life is a game. So here we are with his trusty Demon Hunter. And I can pretty much predict that he's going to go for Naga Seawitch second, which he does in almost every matchup. Right? Panda would be like a greedy, edgy choice. Nah, it's going to be Demon Naga. But if you're looking for a player to show you how the best metagame is supposed to be played for Night Elf, that's him. He is as much that for Night Elf as Focus is that for Orc. And I'm not sure Undead has that kind of guy that plays one style the meta. I mean, I think Happy is beyond that now. You know, you've got players that rely on creativity and strategy. And then you have players that rely on insane mechanics but do the same thing over and over, and that's kind of Focus and Colorful. But I feel like Happy is beyond that. He's more than that. He is all of the things. He can both be creative. He's developed so many strategies in the last 4 years. So many styles, little minute mini timing deviations. And he's got insane micro. And an understanding of timings in the meta. So if anyone beats him, I don't know who's going to win this game, but if anyone beats him, it is basically a world event bigger than Eurovision Song Festival. It's bigger than the Miss World competition. Even a single map win against Happy should make the news more than an armed robbery. Because winning any game against Happy is a robbery. Because he's the best. So how can you? Everyone in the world should know about it, Fenrir. They should know about it. So, how, if anyway, is Colorful going to be able to do it? So far, he's gone with Immolation, which allowed him to pressure ghouls. He's burned away the mana on Death Knight. But Happy is coming in here, and he last hits the beautiful Mother Trucker. Last hits the level 5 creep. He outplays Colorful. Has no mana to coil steal, but simply sent all of his ghouls to do an attack command at the same time. And he out DPS'd, and he out timed, and he outbrained, and he outplayed Colorful. But it's not without a price. Another ghoul goes down to the Demon Hunter. Those ghouls may as well be called Demon for all that he's hunting them. And the Death Knight gets level 3 and used the bonus mana he got from the level up immediately to perform another Death Coil. So how does Colorful play this? Is it a fast expansion? Mass tier 1? Bear rush? For now, it is double lore, tier 2. and I saw no active Wisp production. So what that means is that he's going to be able to go Moss Dryads for a bit. There is an alternative explanation. He might go double lore into tier 3 without the intent to make something like 4 to 6 to 8 Dryads. Because the story of double lore no tier 3 is minimum 6 Dryads. But there is an alternative explanation, and it's as follows. He does want to rush bears, but he makes his lures first so they can't get cancelled, just to make sure that they are uncancelable. However, that alternative explanation seems too far-fetched to be necessary. I look at his money and no, he's not. Oh wait, yeah, he is. Okay, he is going tier 3. Alright. So it is indeed making sure that both lures are synced up. Because you can go for the 1-2 punch, lore, then tier 3, then second lore. But I saw the double simultaneous lore. He wants to make sure that they don't get cancelled. So tier 3 is on the way. That's going to give him the potential to go for a third hero, which I doubt he's going to go for. Demon Naga is pretty much all you need, from looking at how people play Elf against Undead. And I think he's probably going to make 1 or 2 Dryads with Abolish Magic. But after that, I do believe it should be Adept Training and Druids of the Claw Master Training. One early bear can be nice because his Demon Hunter kind of needs the healing right now. And I'm looking at the first lore unit that joined him. I think, it is Dryads. Okay. So it is Dryads. Dryads are pretty solid to creep with. Together with Frost Arrow, they do a double slow, which stacks. Bonus movement slow and bonus attack slow. So an interesting thing about Warcraft 3 and Dota 1 and Dota 2 by extension is that slows stack. They kind of stack, I believe multiplicatively. Which means 250% slows do not equal a root, but they become a 75% slow. Which is pretty damn good. If you've ever seen a Tauren trying to hit anyone while being hit by a Naga and a Dryad, this is how it looks like. I'm gonna do some method acting. But I can't finish the animation by the end of this video, so I'm just gonna leave it at that, but I think you got the point. So the bear comes in, hits the Demon Hunter with a Rejuvenation, which is going to allow him to keep tanking with him. He has great armor class and bonus regeneration via the Ring of Protection, the Ring of Superiority, which is essentially half a circlet, and the Health Stone that is both a consumable similar to a greater healing potion, but is actually better because it also offers bonus health regeneration. Not as much as Ring of Regen, but still pretty solid. So you got to be very sure when you want to eat it, because it has an enduring effect while it's in your inventory. Crystal Ball is a decent item for Colorful because it allows him to check for burrowed fiends without needing to buy dust all the time. Though I will say 1 charge of dust is better than 1 proc of the orb, because the orb doesn't last long enough sometimes to kill the fiends, and the dust lingers on units even if they go out of range, and it's longer effect. Very good item, or so I believed, on the Demon Hunter with the Potion of Invulnerability. 15 seconds of invul. But I'm curious to see him put it on the Naga, and I kind of get it. Because think of how a fight is going to go. Demon will get staffed by the Naga, who carries both the Staff of Preservation and the Town Portal Scroll. And then the Naga's responsibility is to take care of the rest of the brood. If the army goes south, she can Town Portal out. You never want to have the Staff of Preservation and the Scroll of TP on a different hero, because then if you staff your TP hero, your whole army could become doomed in a battle of no escape. And you want to have the demon be the tank and able to use Staff of Teleportation to get back in the fight after you preservation him. So the exact constellation of Staff of Tele, Preservation and TP is something that you should copy in your games. For the 7 players that are watching my videos that are actively still playing Warcraft 3. And not just, enjoying the entertainment of the wacky games and the high level games. For those 7, copy the Staff of Tele, Preservation and TP location on the Naga and Demon. And this is why he has the Invulnerability Potion on the Naga. Because it keeps the Naga able to stay in the fight for longer if she becomes the target. Because if you staff the demon out and then Naga gets focused, he still has to TP away. Okay, he's gonna not staff the bear. This may be a big brain. I don't know if he was like too slow to staff the bear or if it's a big brain and he's saving it for the demon hunter. Looks like he is indeed intending to staff bears away. 2 have gone down. They got absolutely wrecked by the focus fire and the magic damage. This is where Potion of Invulnerability could come in real nicely on the Naga. He's going to use it without being able to block a coil with it. There was enough damage from the Naga of Happy, the purple one, to do a Fork Lightning to finish him off. Maybe he also had no chance to check if DK had a mana pot or not, so he's just like, I want to make sure that I cast this. There was in fact a great mana pot on the DK. He did use it. And he coiled something immediately. And is staying well away from the Demon Hunter so he doesn't get burned. There is a coil. He coils the bear. Very interesting. Does not try to save his destroyer. Very aggressively just coils a bear. DK tanking all he can. Dies without a town portal scroll, which Happy has been selling recently. And is just going to rebuy him for 560 gold instantly after utilizing it as a tank. A very big expenditure for Happy. And honestly, I'm both surprised and impressed that Colorful was able to get that much result after losing all 3 of his bears. Well, 1 got staffed, 2 died pretty easily. That just Dryads and Heroes could do that much. Nonetheless, while he killed the DK, it highlights an interesting philosophy in how Happy plays the game. So, here's my traditional thinking on Tavern rebuys. Very expensive. You don't get your mana back. You get only half life. And as an orc, that's terrible. Orc heroes without mana are worse than undead heroes without mana because we have no mana regeneration units. We don't have Brilliance, Moonwells, or Obsidian Statue Spirit Touch that can heal mana. So the threshold for wanting to rebuy an orc hero is a little higher than for an undead. But still, even undead heroes will take some time before they get enough mana back. So, generally, I don't like rebuying from Tavern. I find that it's inefficient, it's extremely costly. I prefer to just buy from Altar and play differently for a while without fighting. But if there's anything that I learned from Happy, and there's many, maybe the most impactful change, maybe the most impactful lesson has been that he always instantly rebuys when DK or Lich die. For Naga, the threshold is higher, but if DK or Lich die, he cannot continue playing the game. Without Unholy and Orb of Corruption, he's not playing the game. So, it highlights an interesting philosophy because when DK dies and he rebuys it instantly, like yeah, that's XP given to an opponent, that's that's money lost. Oh my god, he's just getting wrecked by the elf units. He may even lose his hero again. His fiends are just running away. And his destroyers are getting absolutely focused by the Dryads. He has no TP, so he can't get out. This just looks like a disaster for Happy. But the madman is trying to manage the chaos. And he's even got the audacity to attack the bear back. How dare you! How dare you! And he gets the bear. And he keeps trying to run away. And he's close to home. And another fiend falls to the Dryad, poison slow. There's a mana burn on the statue. But he's getting away. And you think after a fight like that, you're going to be like 25 population. Oh, how dare you? Yeah, very good. Sasha, who's Sasha? Sasha's Happy. But he's at 43 population after all that. In what looked like a terribly desperate fight for Happy. Because he was just kind of hero focusing. Trying to backstab the red spot creeping. And he gets away and he sure lost a lot. But anyway, let's look at this fight and I'll continue my thought on Tavern rebuys. Nice! Oh, war drums! 7% bonus damage on nearby units. Used to be 10, but it got nerfed. So the coil, the lethal coil, was dodged by Staff of Preservation. The Naga continues to get the creep and gets the XP and gold. And the gold must be something like 110 gold. But the item was yoinked by Happy. So there's a modicum of an outcome. And he forces the town portal out and kills a Dryad. So not all lost, and Happy's items are pretty sick. He's got bonus armor and bonus damage with the drums and the devotion. And his lich is entirely fully stacked. His lich is stacked higher than an Amazon warehouse. That's insane. It's completely full. And he's not about to sell any of that product. Unlike Amazon, I'm sure. He's going to focus the Naga. Demon is on top of him. Mana burn level 3, immolation, and 1 point in evasion. Very interesting. Upgrades. 2 armor upgrades for Colorful, 1 attack. And Happy just has the 1 attack. And is now completely saving up money. They have very successfully committed complete and total genocide against the creeps on this map. Much cleaner this way. I'm gonna write a small note for my editor. Remove censor that word 15 minutes and 30 seconds. You know, YouTube censor. I don't want to get demonetized. I think it's a word that's appropriate in context, but yeah. So, anyways, there are no more creeps, which means it is fine to sit back and save up on 50, and both players are doing that. We're at 17 minutes. Probably takes another 4 minutes for them to not have gold in their main gold mine anymore. So I could definitely see an unsummoned gold mine situation where he moves his acolytes to an expansion and expands. And the same thing for Colorful. He's going to uproot his Tree of Eternity and walk to an expansion. That would be the expectation of a turtle fiesta. But I see Colorful is saving up no longer. He's gone over 50 population. And probably because Happy is kind of like known for pushing over 50 earlier than almost anyone else. That's why Colorful feels the squeeze and feels like he needs these units for defense. The way to break the turtle fiesta that I just described is to expand before it becomes it gets to an empty gold mine situation. And I love what Colorful did here. He realized he's been fooled. Happy's move out here to apply pressure and force an upkeep got detected. Colorful passed the perception check. He rolled a natural 20 on his d20 of perception, recognized Happy did a forced move, and we see this move a lot in StarCraft too. Protoss against Zerg. A fake move out or a Terran move out against Zerg. You start clearing some creep. You apply pressure. They use all the larvae that they have to produce Zerglings and roaches to defend against an incoming attack. Enemy player pulls back. The Zerg now didn't use those larvae for drones. Likewise in Warcraft, the same concept as larvae economy is actually embodied in the Upkeep economy. More army now means less money later. It's the same thing with larvae. You know, I know like Upkeep has a potentially negative feedback loop with the sound and getting less money. A lot of people don't like that. But I'm an Upkeep enjoyer. I'm an Upkeep appreciator. I pay my Upkeep because I know it's good for Azeroth. Do you know what I mean? And I just realized that Upkeep economy is similar to larvae economy and its implications. So Colorful decided to cancel the 2 dryads that he had in production. Right? Because he realized it was a feint from Happy. I don't mean he passed out and lost consciousness. No, not that kind of feint. Not like the Pokemon when they die and go to the farm. That kind of feint. No, a feint. F-E-I-N-T. It was a fake move out in order to force someone over 50 that would then be sitting with this large army that cannot be fed by the commander without great expenditure. So he cancelled it. Very nice. And that's a pretty cool trick that you can do. You can get to this 50 food situation where it is advantageous for both players to save up and invest in the strength of their army rather than the multitude of the army. You can see that. Remember the last upgrade call out that I did? It was, let me rewind this because I think it wiped the upgrades. Look, 2-3 now against 2-2. So they've both worked on their upgrades as the overlay gets a little bug. We don't see the upgrades anymore, but they're both at least 2-2 and Colorful is at better. That's how you can use Upkeep situations as well, right? The moment you do start making all your units, you make sure that they come out of the building swinging. They're all going to Hunter's Hall University right now and Graveyard Band Camp. in order to be well trained when they go out into the world and immediately find a job in the army of both of these players. But Colorful, he's doing more than that. While he is struggling with wood, an issue that I personally never have, he has expanded regardless. This gives him two options. When the gold finally does run dry, he's able to use his Tree of Eternity still as a Staff of Preservation location in his main base. He's able to use that so that his demon that gets staffed can immediately be Moonwell healed. Or he can take the luxury of relocating the Tree of Eternity to an expansion. Now he's got 2 bases against 1. But does the long-term income matter? As I see that Warcraft 3 Art, the person who uploads these videos for people's watching enjoyment, he reloads the overlay again. Now the upgrades are working again. And he pauses the game for that. That's what explained that little stop. Is it relevant to invest in your income at the minute mark 23, 24, trying to get 2 bases, when you very well know that Happy is going to do a 1-punch strike? Very likely the outcome of that battle will decide who gets control over the entire map. It won't matter if you have 1 Tree of Life or 4. If you lose both of your heroes and then your altar, game is over. And that's what Happy is attempting to do here. A 1-punch knockout. And he's decided to tech switch into Gargoyles. And he's trying to hide it. But the Demon Hunter and his Ultra Vision may have already tipped him off to that fact. And with the low amount of lumber that Colorful has, is he able to make air? Is he making hippogriffs to counter the Gargoyles? Because hippos are good against Gargs. The only problem is Gargs are also good against hippos. Both are anti-air specialists. So now it's about who has better backup heroes. Dreadlord is the king of air versus air battle because of Vampiric Aura, and even Carrion Swarm does a decent job. But he hasn't got the Dreadlord. He's got Forked Lightning and Nova. Nova is also very good against air. It slows their attack and movement. And what does Colorful have? He's just got Forked Lightning. It's not enough. So in terms of air battle, he feels he can never win it. So instead, he's massing ground army. He has neither the infrastructure nor the inclination to fight in the air dimension. Gargoyles take bonus damage from Dryads, but Dryads also take bonus damage from Gargs. And while Gargs' anti-ground attack is not very good, the fact that they do not have to contend with collision while grouping up for a focused fire attack means that once you get Gargoyles in a critical gaggle, a critical amount, a critical mass of numbers, they can one-shot Dryads and they can move from one to the next. Try to give the same command to mass Dryads to take down one Garg, and you're getting this problem where not all the units are getting slow poisoned, essentially lessening the effect of slow poison's effect. Normally you want to spread it on many different, so everyone gets poison damage, they all get slowed in movement and attack. And there's just so many Gargs, it's hard to focus fire them, and some Dryads are going to self-body block and they're not going to be able to connect with the Garg you're trying to focus. So Happy, he's completely all in. He sells all of his ziggurats because there is no life after death. There is no life after love. Here we have Celine Dion trying to sing, and Happy is like, be quiet, I have to focus. There's a Rejuve. He's going to try and devour it away with Destroyer. Instantly hits it. Massive army. 94 population. Colorful. It's breaking out. The fight of the game. 25-minute mark. We have 1 base for Colorful, but it's all about this fight right here. Immolation for Demon Hunters on. He's going to put himself next to the ghouls while attacking air. There's so many Gargoyles. Many are falling. I'm looking at the health of the heroes. None have fallen yet. We had about 3 bears or so. 2 have gone down already. 2 new ones come in. He hits a rejuvenation on the Demon Hunter. I think it's still there, the rejuvenation. Or did it get removed already? Many Gargoyles have fallen to the Dryads. Great micro. And the Dryad's upgrades are phenomenal. 3-3 upgrades against 2-2 gargoyles. Naga gets level 5, hits him with the Fork Lightning level 3. No, he didn't choose his upgrade of the Fork Lightning yet. It was only level 2, but it's still good enough. Demon Hunter dropping low. Is there a staff on the Naga to bail him out? You should hope to think so. Demon Hunter gets staffed. Tree of Eternity is at home. He has chosen to go with the Moonwell option rather than trying to go with the Tree of Eternity takes another expand option. Did not want to risk taking damage from anything else. Instantly invuled his Naga. Demon is back with full health and mana. 5.7 level. 5.9. 1 unit. 1 more Gargoyle and he gets level 6 on the Demon Hunter. Hell, even an Acolyte might be enough. If he gets 1 more unit, he can metamorphosize, which instantly functions like a level, a greater healing potion. There we go. Metamorphosis! Chaos damage, happy knows. That's the final nail in the coffin. Happy's attack got broken with so many Dryads. With some really good positioning. Never let his heroes die. Always played it safe. Invuls on time. Didn't want to do any fancy last second microplay, blocking coils or whatever. Nah, just he kept his heroes safe. Really good overview of the battle. And finally, Superman was here. No hippos, just mass dryads, good upgrades. And I think the key was the upkeep game. We rewind the replay one more time and we look at when was the upkeep feint ignored, right? That was quite some time ago. When he went to like 56 population. I'm trying to remember exactly when. Yeah, here we okay. At the 17-minute mark, he went over 50 and then continued not to go over for real until the 21-minute mark. 4 minutes, you get basically 600 gold per second from a gold mine. Because of upkeep, you 0.7 it, right? So you lose 0.3. Once you go to low upkeep, you lose 0.3 of that, 30%. So you lose 180 gold per minute. He chose not to go over upkeep by recognizing the upkeep push play for 4 minutes. He gained this much extra gold. In the final battle, that means that instead of, 94 population, 720 gold, bears are like 255, he would have had 3 bears less. He would have had 12 population less. You think that play didn't matter? I'm not saying anyone did think that. But if you think it didn't matter, it did. Because those new bears that come in at the fight, like right here, that are able to give rejuvenations to the Demon Hunter and whatnot, those are thanks to that upkeep play. So that just highlights how at the very highest level of play, these moves are so relevant. Really good game. Fantastic victory by Colorful over Happy. Both played really, really well. And I'm impressed. And in fact, I'm inspired. At the end of this game, after this, I'm going to go play some Night Elf on the ladder. And see if I can play even an iota of as close as what Colorful just showed here. GG. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Let me know feedback on the cast in the comments. And see you next time. Sub to the grub. Cheers. Bye.